you sacrifice pretty much an inner pipe within the wellhead. That's the common kind of common practice. But there are some companies that came with some very, sophisticated type of protection. They usually have a patent. So if your company has a patent around their protection and they're using that equipment, right? So it's not a patent, that is parked somewhere. No, it's the equipment that they are generating revenue of is patent, right? Then you're talking 6 to 7 times plus. If it's just a company that provides very simple, protection, then you're down to the 3-4 times.
I see.
So a company that buys the equipment, rents it out, services it, is valued at 3 to 4 times?
Absolutely. Yeah, because this is something that anybody can use. This is very similar to the frac flowback, companies. This is the mom and pop companies that do this. You don't find Schlumberger, Halliburton, Baker doing it because it's so cheap. Pricing tend to be kind of, low. EBITDA less than 20. So, that 20%, that's pretty much kind of in a nutshell how I see it, right? I haven't, looked at one of these kind of protection companies, but there's so many of them, and there are very few that have a very kind of specialized patent type, right, that are helping to reduce the non-productive time and all that. But apart from that, the majority are pretty much mom and pop type companies.
This one in particular, just to be as clear as possible, is they provide advanced wellhead protection services utilizing proprietary isolation tools for frac and completion activities. So how do you interpret that?
I'll interpret that they must have patent equipment or patent services, otherwise it's all BS.
Yeah.
That's how I interpret it. Because all of these guys, they all say the same thing, and they have the best people and the best equipment, and you cannot blame them for not, talking up their company. But bottom line is, if you have proprietary stuff, then show me your patent. That's as simple as this. If you don't have patents, then nothing is proprietary. Then you are copied. And I can tell you, this business, everybody copy each other. So unless you are fully protected, then you are pretty much providing the same thing as your neighbor.
So is the space very saturated, as in there's a lot of players and, nobody has real key market share, or are there one or two players, or is there one main player that's very, kind of a leader in the space?
No, there is at least, 20 players in this. In the Permian, there's 20 or 30 companies that are doing these type of protection, wellhead protection type of services.
And do you have a sense of what their revenue is? Are they like 20, 30 companies that generate $100 million of revenue per piece kind of thing, or?
No, probably much less, right? We're talking companies that do 30, maybe, 20, 30 million, going up. Well, maybe the activity has picked up these days, so probably they are in the range of 60, 70 million, nowadays. But that's pretty much the range there.
$60 to $70 million in revenue, right? Not EBITDA?
Yes, revenue. No, absolutely, revenue, yeah.
Okay. And then what about, is there an advantage to consolidation in the space, as in, some of these guys coming together and generating, better pricing power?
Yes, but not only that. Here's the problem. If you are only doing, and by the way, it's a common problem for oil field services, no matter where you look. So, and I've seen it happening in my 25 years almost now career in this business, right? If you are consolidating in one particular service, then I can assure you there's so much dry powder in this business, especially with private equity, and this what you are describing here is not that huge capex, high barrier to entry type of product or service. So you consolidate